What a me. Midigar got and Barak. Hello, friends. It's good to see you. My name is Greg Sims. Everyone knows me as Uncle Greg. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge we are in Durrock land. I would like to acknowledge elders past and present. We don't own the land owns us. We come from Mother Earth. We are the land. And the land we're upon today belongs to the mathematical tribe of the Durrock Nation, the Eel people. I am one of the Aboriginal elders of Western Sydney and also one of the Aboriginal elders on the advisory committee at Western Sydney University. So before I give the welcome, I'd just like to say one more thing, is that when we take our next step, just remember the ones that walked this sacred land before. Tiari Mara, Daraka Pemal, Kami Maria Pemal Naganarigi Babana, By Namara Wananang, Noi Desi Guy, Dona Gami Yadalang, Naganarigi Tiari Naganarigi, Nagami Guy, Goody winning Gunagal Da Gunagal. Dala Lawi Mugakat Bala Nagami, this is the Lawi near Tree Magunagal. Jamia Tiari Naganarigi or the Germana, Midiga Garang Barak Nini Daraka Pemal, Didrigo. This is Durrock lands, the land of our ancestors. Their spirits shall walk among us. Spirits that have been here since the dream time. Our language and our culture has been passed down from generation to generation to continue an unbroken culture that has extended for thousands of years. In the language of our people, we work with the Durrock lands. Thank you and have a great day. And just finishing off on that note, I wish you all the best in your endeavours on your journey to success. Thank you.
My name is Professor Peter Shergold. I'm the Chancellor of Western Sydney University, and it is my very great pleasure to welcome you to this, our virtual ceremony of graduation. I want to begin by acknowledging that many of you are joining us today on the lands of different Indigenous Australian nations. I do acknowledge the ancestors of those nations and pay my respects for the fact that they have looked after this country for at least 70,000 years. I pay respect to leaders and the leadership that they provide. The university continues to value the generations of wisdom and knowledge that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people embed within our university. Now, Western Sydney University is a young university. We are honoured now to sit within the top 60 young universities in the world. And of course, we are located in a vibrant and fast-growing part of Australia. With an additional 1 million people expected to live and work in Western Sydney over the next 2 decades, it's a pretty exciting time to be part of our community. And of course, the university continues to grow along with our region. We now have 10 campuses, close to 50,000 students. We are incredibly proud of the diversity of our students. We welcome students who identify as First Nations people. We welcome students from that extraordinary diversity of ethnic communities that is Western Sydney. People who have come with their families or come as migrants or come here as refugees. We welcome international students from all around the world. And we welcome many of you who have been the first in family to study at university. Our university, Western Sydney University, takes great pride in opening up educational opportunities for all those with the determination to succeed. Just like our graduates, we too have ambition. We are proud now to be recognised as in the top 3 universities not in Australia, the top 3 universities in the world for our commitment to gender equality and our efforts to reduce inequalities. We are growing our reputation for teaching and for learning, for research and for sustainability. Our graduands, that's you, will make contributions to our region, your nation, and to the world in the years to come. Indeed, it is already happening. Week by week, I meet graduates of our university who are forging their careers and building businesses. Last year, our university turned 30 years old, and that led us to reflect and acknowledge what we've achieved over those past 3 decades, but also to plan and look forward with anticipation to what will unfold in the future. Likewise, your graduation is an opportunity to celebrate your achievement. It marks a new beginning in your life. You too are planning for your future. And so, as we recognise the completion of our students' studies, or at least this chapter of their studies, I do offer my warm congratulations to all those who are graduating. And on your behalf, I extend my thanks to all those academic and professional staff who have made this milestone possible. Because if you think about it, they have helped to instill the gift of learning that will guide you for the rest of your life. I know that today is also a momentous occasion for the families and for the friends of our graduates. You, family and friends, have supported and nurtured our students in their studies. You can now join in the joy of honouring their success. And so, with a virtual roll of drums, the formal part of our programme concerning the admission of our graduands to their awards is now at hand. In the name of the Board of Trustees, and by the authority vested in me, I now admit you to the awards to which you are entitled, and declare that you are duly and lawfully graduated. Today, I accept you, I welcome you as a full part of the university. Congratulations. And now I'll introduce Professor Barney Glover, who is our Vice-Chancellor and President, and he will say a few words.
Thank you, Chancellor, for your opening address. I am delighted to welcome you to our virtual graduation ceremony. This year has certainly been like no other. It has been a year of disruption and adversity. The COVID-19 pandemic may have tested us, but has also strengthened our resolve. It has made us more resilient and brought us together in ways we could never have imagined. It has enlivened our community spirit. Of course, the pandemic has also meant that our graduation ceremonies need to be a little different this year. While we might not be able to gather together in person on our Parramatta South campus, as we normally would, the significance and importance of this ceremonial occasion endures. Graduation is one of the most important events on the university calendar. It's a special milestone for you, our students, as well as your families, your friends, and your supporters. A time to celebrate and reflect upon your achievements. It's a culmination of years of hard work and dedication. The university community is pleased and proud to share this special occasion with you. From this moment, you are officially graduates of Western Sydney University. You join a network of more than 200,000 alumni, both locally and globally, who, in their own individual ways, are making a difference in their communities and being a force for positive change. We hope your graduation today is just the beginning of a lifetime of learning, a life that is enriched by following your passions, by being curious, by not being afraid to take risks, by being true to yourselves, by having empathy for your fellow citizens, and by doing good and great things. Congratulations on your graduation. The university community is incredibly proud of you and all that you have achieved. No matter where you are, across Australia or across the world, we join with you and your families to celebrate. We wish you all the best for your future, wherever that path may lead you. I would now like to introduce the doctoral awards for this virtual graduation ceremony. A higher degree by research is awarded to a graduate who has successfully completed a program of study in which the defining characteristic is research. High degree research graduates have undertaken a program of independent supervised study for the equivalent of 4 years. These graduates have undertaken significant and original research, culminating in a thesis which has been independently examined by external experts of international standing. These graduates have developed a substantial body of knowledge in a field of work or learning that constitutes an original contribution. They can apply their knowledge and skills to demonstrate autonomy, authoritative judgment, adaptability, and responsibility as an expert and leading scholar, with the ongoing capacity to generate new knowledge. Chancellor, I present for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Computing, Engineering, Mathematics, Timothy James Galvin. Tim holds a Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Computer Science Advanced with honours from this university. Tim studied with the School of Science and under the supervision of Professor Miroslav Filipovic, Dr. Nicholas Tottle and Dr. Nick Seymour, completed a doctoral thesis entitled The Radio Continuum Emission of Star-Forming Galaxies at Low to High Redshift. Chancellor, I present Dr. Timothy James Galvin. Chancellor, I present for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment, Laura Castaneda Gomez. Laura holds a Bachelor of Agricultural and Veterinary Microbiology and a Bachelor of Ecology from Javeriana University, Columbia. Laura studied with the Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment and under the supervision of Dr. Yolima Carrillo Espanol, Associate Professor Jeff Powell, Professor Elise Pendle and Professor David Ellsworth, completed a doctoral thesis entitled Soil Organic Matter Dynamics under Elevated CO2, Mechanisms of Impact. Chancellor, I present Dr. Laura Castaneda Gomez. Chancellor, I present for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment, Christopher Michael Todd. Christopher holds a Bachelor of Science from Rutgers University in the United States and a Master of Science from the University of Hawaii, also in the United States. Christopher studied with the Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment and under the supervision of Associate Professor Justin Welbergen, Dr. John Martin, Dr. Carrie Rose and Dr. David Westcott, completed a doctoral thesis entitled The Ecology and Conservation of the Christmas Island Flying Fox, Pteropus natalis. Chancellor, I present Dr. Christopher Michael Todd. Chancellor, I present for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment, Jennifer Peters. Jen holds a Bachelor of Arts Biology from Bard College in the United States. Jen studied with the Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment and under the supervision of Associate Professor Brendan Choate and Professor Mark Joyka, completed a doctoral thesis entitled Hydraulic Vulnerability of Australian Forests to Drought. Chancellor, I present Dr. Jennifer Peters. Chancellor, I present for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment, Robert Mueller. Robert holds a Bachelor of Science from Dresden University of Technology in Germany and a Master of Science from the University of Natural Resources and Life Sciences in Austria. Robert studied with the Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment and under the supervision of Associate Professor Marcus Riegler, Dr. Shannon Smith and Professor Jeff Powell, completed a doctoral thesis entitled Characterization of Fungal Symbionts and Microbial Communities of Austroplatypus incompetus, Platypodinae and other Australian ambrosia beetle species. Chancellor, I present Dr. Robert Mueller. Chancellor, I present for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment, Julius Versagen. Julius holds a Bachelor of Science in Plant Biology and Master of Science in Biology from the University of the Philippines. Julius studied with the Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment and under the supervision of Associate Professor Ula Ganem and Professor Wee Son Chow, completed a doctoral thesis entitled Environmental Regulation of Energetics of C4 Photosynthesis. Chancellor, I present Dr. Julius Vermorales Sagan. Chancellor, I present for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment, Eric Brenya. Eric holds a Bachelor of Science Honours from the University of Cape Coast in Ghana and a Master of Philosophy from the University of Queensland. Eric studied with the Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment and under the supervision of Dr. Christopher Casanelli, Dr. Alexei Papanicolaou, Professor Zonghua Chen and distinguished Professor David Tishu, completed a doctoral thesis entitled Elucidating Thigmomorphogenesis, an epigenetic phenomenon of mechanical stress acclimation in plants. Chancellor, I present Dr. Eric Brenya. Chancellor, I present for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment, Yagiz Alagoz. Yagiz holds a Bachelor of Science from Fatih University in Turkey and a Master of Science from Kankiri Karatiken University in Turkey. Yagiz studied with the Hawkesbury Institute for the Environment and under the supervision of Dr. Christopher Casanelli, distinguished Professor David Tishu and Dr. Alexei Papanicolaou, completed a doctoral thesis entitled Feedback Regulation of Carotenoid Biosynthesis by an Apocarotenoid Sensing RNA Structural Switch. Chancellor, I present Dr. Yagiz Alagoz. Chancellor, I present for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Science, Dale Ang. Dale holds a Bachelor of Science, Advanced Science in Chemistry and a Bachelor of Science with first-class honours from this university. Dale studied with the School of Science and under the supervision of Professor Janice Aldrich Wright and Dr. Christopher Gordon, completed a thesis entitled Biophysical and Computational Studies of Biomacromolecular Systems. Chancellor, I present Dr. Dale Lindsay Ang. Chancellor, I present for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy Science, Vamsi Krishna Inampudi. Vamsi holds a Bachelor of Pharmacy from the Tamil Nadu Dr. M.G.R. Medical University in India and a Master of Pharmacy from the Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, also in India. Vamsi studied with the School of Science and under the supervision of Dr. Shrivas Nami, Professor Dennis Chang and Professor Pragada Rao, completed a doctoral thesis entitled Investigations on the Protective Role of Low to Moderate Alcohol Consumption on High-Fat Diet-Induced Non-Alcoholic Fatty Liver Disease. Chancellor, I present Dr. Vamsi Krishna Inampudi. Chancellor, I present for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Science, Ki Dong. Ki Dong holds a Master of Public Health from Curtin University. Ki Dong studied with the School of Science and under the supervision of Professor Vijay Jayasena, Dr. Rosalie Durham, Dr. Binosha Fernando and Dr. Regine Stockman, completed a doctoral thesis entitled Development and Quality Evaluation of Bioactive Rich Drink Powder based on C. buckthorn. Chancellor, I present Dr. Ki Dong. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of doctoral awards. I would now like to call on Ms. Sylvia Martinez, interpreter and translator, to announce the next graduates.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have qualified for the award of Master of Philosophy for the thesis titled Analysing Genetic Interactions to Identify Genes that, when overactive, impact genome integrity in Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Nathaniel Mikhail. Master of Research and recipient of the University Medal for Outstanding Scholarship, with a thesis in the area of medicinal inorganic chemistry, contributing to the design of platinum anti-cancer drugs, Danilo Sekuljika. Master of Research, with a thesis in the area of medicinal inorganic chemistry, to advance our understanding of cancer and uncover more effective drug design strategies against cancer, Angelico Aputen. Master of Research, with a thesis in the area of environmental forensic science, demonstrating that portable Raman and FTIR spectrometers are viable instruments capable of identifying potentially hazardous materials immediately in situ. Chantel Liane Attard. Master of Research, with a thesis in the area of chemical ecology, contributing to the chemical defense of a deimatic insect species, Brendan Nicholas Baker. Master of Research, with a thesis in the area of genetics, contributing to an enhanced understanding of DNA regulatory elements that control genes involved with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, Raisa Hassan. Master of Research, with a thesis in the area of biochemistry and molecular biology, contributing to the understanding of DNA repair proteins and mechanisms, Tegan May Lawson. Master of Research, with a thesis in the area of science, contributing to the effects of pre-drying and food gums in reduction of fat uptake during deep frying, Jane Kantra Lumenlan. Master of Research, with a thesis in the area of comparative immunology and genomics, contributing to the advancement and understanding of marsupial immunology and the evolution of the mammalian immune system, Andrea Louise Shraven. Master of Research, with a thesis in the area of agriculture and environment, contributing to improving crop production under climate change, Potjani Tirasuttiku. Master of Research, with a thesis in the area of evolutionary ecology, contributing to expanding understanding of evolutionary responses of feeding behaviours and chemical production, Alexandria Jean Williams. Master of Forensic Science, with distinction, Abby Rose Chapman. With distinction, Brendan Mark Miller. With distinction, Stephanie May Moo. And also with distinction, Barbara Jean Lorraine Brooke. Ryan James Barker. Hannah Marie Finch. Georgia Halworth Watts. Nathan Lang. Eloise Pienaar. Sarah Jane Pierre. Gunjana Roberts. Thomas Eduardo Thrum. Lakshmi Venkatesh. Master of Science, Public Health Nutrition, with distinction, Lauren Christiana Petherbridge. Graduate Diploma in Forensic Science, Joshua William Difford. Graduate Certificate in Forensic Science, Stephen James McGowan. Brandon Rosario Moyer. Bachelor of Medical Science, with distinction, Anne Hekmat. With distinction, Ranitra Vasantakumaran. And also with distinction, Tulasi Vijayalingam. Huda Abdul Razak. Hajar Al-Haifi. Muayyad Mohammed Ali Al-Jabouri. Samantha Alcon. Abigail Ann Aldia. Anchita Anchu Alex. Zineb Al-Gaidan. Nadia Al-Mandawal. Angel Angel Ann Thomas, Yannick Armstrong, Kirili Barlow, Maria Gerardette Binney, Sean Patrick Cameron, Jamila Cow, Sasha Cherry, Hannah Jane Caskelli, Natasha Setaita Darko, Dana Desipeda, Juan Diego Escobar Bermeo, Silver Isho, Lucy Falvey, Sania Fazana, Chantel Gomez, Samuel Goria, Sabila Hanif, Noor Sad Hekmat, Elise Brooke Holmes, Shazia Hussain, Tai Kang Hee, Abdul Samed Ibrahim, Riam Jalal Jamel, Abir Jassim, Caitlin Grace Johnston, Steva Joseph Karim, Amal Kawase, Ibtisam Kayelu, Aksa Ali Khan, Janaki Patamal Kodakala, Nick Tida Kusau, Nirmal Raj Kunu Kotandaraman, Stephen Loretti, Jasmine Lee, Gabriel Lingotti, Jason Magbanwa, Wael Marash, Sandra Meso, Priyal Mistry, Wendy Mo Feng, Noor Hassan Mohammed, Ann Nadisha Kumari Mutumadalidige Don, An Fong Nguyen, Tranjuan Hao Nguyen, Nancy Nono, Gina Bartam Odisho, Piyush Pudial, Renisha Prasad, Paras Jasmine Reedy, Suvrashri Rimal, Yasmin Saad, Rita Falas Sabri, Silvia Shakuri, Shreya Shrestha, Ryan Summers, Riya Suri, Ali Taimuri, Samantha Jane Thomas, Naomi Yi Yao Tu, Veronica Ann Wood, Alexander Wer. Bachelor of Medical Science, Advanced, with distinction, Elana Andrews Mani. With distinction, Sophie Madeleine Cornett. With distinction, Alexander Filipovsky. With distinction, Kashifa Latif. With distinction, Nina Lisa Matthews. With distinction, Erin Amelia McLemmon. And also with distinction, Lena Nguyen. Joshua Kabunkau, Miguel Manuel Veter da Silva, Siana Cortez, Jenny Liu, Shed Benedict Punzalan, Bachelor of Medical Science, Forensic Mortuary Practice, with distinction, Courtney Louise McLean. With distinction, Hayley Louise Mitrevsky. With distinction, Sayorsi Louise Patton. With distinction, Ashley Hazel Ross. Ahmad Elbeni. Bachelor of Natural Science, Animal Science, with distinction, Alicia Rochelle Hab Atkins. With distinction, Sabina Page Mason, and also with distinction, Michelle Spadavecchia. Tiffany Anderson, Amy Louise Arnold, Matthew Brown, Kathleen Rose Bull, Emily Wayan Chung, Amanda Faye Coleman, Courtney Cremasco, Lauren Darby, Bianca Lauren Debu, Ariella Rhiannon Dub Lynch, Sarah Dorsey, Alana Fletcher, Antonella Gerardis, Natalie Julka Muna, Savannah Luke, Crystal Brooke Marsland, Alison McGarry, Harriet Siobhan McHugo, Tassie Mortis, Brianna Muller, Annabella Lucia Jennifer Perakis, Troy Simonato, Chloe Sultana, Brooke Taylor, Elena Wade, Janae Ashley Wallace, Bachelor of Natural Science, Environment and Health, with distinction, Travis Dale Banks. With distinction, Welsie Thomas Bodil, Ben Cone, Aaron Michael Harding Davies, Galip Kartop, Jessie Kathleen Kiss, Michael Newen, Adele Taylor. Bachelor of Natural Science, Environmental Management, Matthew George Cole, Adna Cullen, Emma Kaylee Mackenzie, Shane Andrew Metcalf, Jacqueline Newen, Madison Said. Chancellor, that now concludes the first half of our ceremony.
Graduates and guests, I would like to introduce Mr. Danny Saloni, CEO of PepsiCo, to deliver the occasional address for this virtual graduation ceremony. Mr. Danny Saloni has more than 25 years international experience in the fast-moving consumer goods industry, having worked across Australia and in developing economies across Southeast Asia and the Asia Pacific, living and working in Singapore, Korea, Japan and Thailand. Following his graduation from Western Sydney University in 1995 with a Bachelor of Arts in Communications, Mr. Saloni began his career with the global beverage production company Diageo. He held a number of strategy, category and sales roles over a 20-year period. In 2013, Mr. Saloni worked for Real World FMCG Consulting before moving to PepsiCo in November 2016 in the role of Sales Director, Australia and New Zealand. Since April of 2018, Danny has held the role of CEO and has been a member of the Australian Food and Grocery Council Board of Directors since 2019. He has a wealth of experience overseeing some of Australia and the world's top consumer brands. He is an entrepreneurial leader who champions a growth mindset and leadership across all levels. Danny is a strong advocate for diversity and inclusion, with women making up 54% of the executive leadership team. He has led positive change within his own organisation, introducing innovative policies for flexible work. Under his leadership, PepsiCo has also this year embarked on its first Reconciliation Action Plan. Externally, he is a pay equity ambassador for the federal government's Workplace Gender Equality Agency. Danny is also a strong advocate of the benefits of contributing to community development and the reduction of our environmental footprint. I welcome Mr. Danny Saloni as our guest speaker.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, academic colleagues, special guests, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, you amazing graduates. Firstly, a big congratulations on the completion of your degrees. It is a fantastic personal accomplishment that has come with a lot of hard work, I know. Today is a proud day not only for you, but also for your families and your friends. I remember so clearly my graduation day at Western Sydney University. And whilst today is not quite how you pictured it, your feelings of excitement, pride and anticipation for your future are just as strong. 2020 graduates, you all will be remembered for your resilience and your determination to achieve your goals and your outcomes. I am so honoured to be a part of your graduation ceremony today. As you embark on your careers, I'd like to share just a couple of small stories and reflections that I've had along the way. My family immigrated from Italy to Australia in 1974. We came out on a ship called the Galileo Galilei, and we settled in Sydney by chance, actually, after my dad briefly stepped off the boat to have a look around Melbourne, and we returned back on the boat saying to my mum, let's not stay here, there are just way too many Italians. So we ended up growing up in Western Sydney in Wetherill Park. My parents still live there today, and I quite often visit. It was a simple blue-collar upbringing. They raised me on 3 rules that to this day have great significance in my life. Number 1, work hard to be successful and make your own luck. Number 2 is be the best you can be every day. And number 3, be kind to others. Everyone's lives provide opportunities and challenges, and I've built my career and done my best to live by those rules. And there's some things that I've learnt for myself, and sometimes the hard way. These, of course, are just my own reflections and observations, and some may or may not resonate with you more than others. The power of agility. Try not to overplan your careers. Just try and be the best in the moment that you can be on the day. Be open, agile, and flexible about where you'd like to go. Today's career paths are no longer linear. Look for the experiences that bring growth and personal learnings. Opportunities will pop up without you knowing they're coming. In fact, sometimes they may not even look like an opportunity, yet they can change your life. Lead in good times and in bad. Look, it's been a tough 12 months in business, personal lives, or otherwise. But over the years, I've learnt you can love the outcome of hard times just as much as the good times. Tough times have brought me the biggest growth and the biggest learnings than all the years that I thought were easy. Believe in yourself and believe in the fact that you will find a way through. Regardless of the outcome, you will come out stronger and with a broader toolkit of learnings and skills. Go slow to go fast. Absolutely be ambitious. It's a powerful quality. If you also have patience, you will be sure to reach your full potential. I'm so thankful to a mentor who once told me that, Danny, just slow down, and that the best way isn't always up. Move left, move right, even backwards, because you will build your capabilities. Take the time to maximize your potential in each role. Reflect on the full skill set you will need for the next one. So when you get there, you will be fully equipped. Leadership at all levels. Everyone's leadership journey is a lifelong one. You're already leaders in your own right. You'll have opportunities to show leadership at every stage of your career. Think about how you can inspire, coach, and support others. All people have a valuable contribution to make, no matter what level they are at or where they sit in an organisational structure. Be comfortable in being uncomfortable. I encourage you to really get good at feeling uncomfortable. Put yourself there. When things are going well, we often avoid stretching ourselves to consider new frontiers or disruptive thinking to preempt challenging situations or opportunities. Deliberately immerse yourself in uncomfortable situations. Sit in it. Really feel it. Feel what it's like. Because when uncomfortable times come, and they will come, the feeling won't be foreign. You'll be calm, you'll be considered, and your emotional reaction won't cloud your thinking. Please, please be your authentic self. Be proud of who you are today, where you came from, who you will become. Don't try to emulate others. Take lessons for sure, but anchor them in your own way. The times I have moved away from the core of who I am, I have not operated at my best, and frankly, I have not been happy. Our individuality is what makes us special. The world is absolutely looking for people who are authentic, unique, and who bring their true selves to the table. Look, I just want to congratulate you all again for what you've achieved. While you might not be having the experience of a fully packed auditorium, be immensely proud of what you've achieved, because your memories today will be with you for years and years to come. I'm just so excited for you and the possibilities that lay ahead. There'll be extraordinary times, and yes, look, there are going to be some tough times, but I know you will learn from them all. Fill your minds only with the biggest thoughts and dreams. Don't let those small, petty little pursuits bog you down and cloud your thinking, and embrace every opportunity and every challenge. Look, thanks so much for allowing me to share in such a special day. I really wish you all the best for your future. Enjoy the ride, it will be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Saloni, for that inspiring address. I would now like to ask Ms. Sylvia Martinez to announce the remaining graduates.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have qualified for the award of Bachelor of Science with distinction, Matthew Barsoom. Also with distinction, J. William Hagan. With distinction, Luke Clue. With distinction, Michael James LaRoche. With distinction, Brinley Jade Alexandra Reed. With distinction, Elizabeth Natalie Russell. With distinction, Veronica Smith. With distinction, Vadia Timoshahi. And also with distinction, Valeria Zak. Daniel Abela. Saja Al-Muhajir. Umayma Arafin. Zoheb Mohammed Aziz. Khalid Boyraz. Mariana Bishara. Jessica Noktoi Donkau. Carly Jade Carter. Zerching Vicky Chung. Aaron John Clark. Jennifer Allison Collins. Claudio Sam Cortelazzi. Daniel James Crocker. O'Neill Dawood. Von de la Torre. Alex Duong. Benjamin Foster. Arthur Georges. Kirillus Gurgis. James Kent Glenfield. Bimarati Irana Goitao. Liam Huidse. Mariam Hussein. Manaji Janazi. Nomadi Tanaka Jokomo. David Saman Shaba Kurnai. Intisar Crime. Mitchell Paul Mateus. Saif Sadun Naim. Aishwarya Naidu. Alexandria Page Petridis. Sintuja Pirapakaran. Misag Mike Ro Najafabadi. Emily Kate Riemann. Sean Shankar. Vidya Shri Bharati Shanmugam. Nikita Singh. Axel Rudolph Stiegler Peters. Brandon Paul Jones. Liam Philip Walker. Emma Louise Watson. Alistair Bryson Stenning West. Jacqueline Joy Yazdani. Bachelor of Science, Advanced Science, Biological Science, with distinction, Shania Therese Didier Serre, and also with distinction, Darren Robert Newen. Bachelor of Science, Advanced Science, General Program, with distinction, Nuha Taleb. Sarah Jerome. Kennedy John Mader. Bachelor of Science, Advanced Science, Mathematical Sciences with distinction, Kaylee Rose McAllister. And also with distinction, James Monks. Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences with distinction, Alicia Findlay Don. With distinction, Charlotte Victoria Rose Tipple. And also with distinction, Jessica Ellen Tyler. Natalie Albinovsky, Susan Assem, Tan Trang Boy, Portia Cockburn, Grace Evelyn Cooley, Sarah Diab, Mohammed El Halak, Annabelle Elena, Sasha Louise Gilks, Cindy Jin Yi Ho, Caitlin Kavanagh, Andrew James Keller, Kazim Khatib, Hansol Lee, Rubin J. Mandangeng, Patrick May, Dominic Naso, Nicholas Rovida Iturrieta, Insaf Sari, Sohaila, Monica Joyanne Whitley, Omid Zarbaft. Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences, Bachelor of Business Management with distinction, Lauren May Fraser. Bachelor of Science, Chemistry, Adrian Christopher Calusi, Evan Daniel Jacobson, Mihailo Novkovic. Bachelor of Science, Environmental Science with distinction, Alicia Kate Newton, Chris Chandler, O'Malley J. Hungerford Mason, Vicky Mayhew. Bachelor of Science, Forensic Science with distinction, Kyra J. Lyle. With distinction, Amy Hannah Messenger. With distinction, Charlotte Alexandra Cooper Willars. And also with distinction, Hujia Zhang. Monique Annalise Barker, Kimberly Betts, Hannah Kate Carroll, Haven Ching, Jim Raj Castillo Colores, Celeste Tien Nguyen Dao, Elisha Dugan, Kamia Jane Foster, Tiana Brooke Green, Zach Gremer, Aaron Benjamin Haddon, Stephanie Ann Hardy, Chelsea Jablonskis, Anna Kachpratz, Sabina Kafle, David Kasbarian, Alisa Jade Kaiselis, Sharon Leanne Kelly, Brianne Suzanne Lane, Emma Louise Lone, Brooke Catherine Muriel Masters, Laura Nay, Lauren Mary Pastilli, Shania Puntoriero, Kavya Zagzina, Rainiel Shandil, Shika Monique Singh, Lincoln James Inwood Smith, Laurel Smith, Eric Truong, Kalista Vrzik, Paige Walker. Bachelor of Science, Mathematical Science with distinction, Joshua Ham. Also with distinction, Peter Hillier. With distinction, Daniel Aidan Vannon. And also with distinction, Isabel Zanaga. Christopher Allen Manuel, Drew Daniel McLean, Daniel John Robinson, Nathan Alfonso Villalobos, Adam Michael Watts. Bachelor of Science, Nutrition and Food Science, with distinction, Roseanne George. With distinction, Jill Ridge. With distinction, Cara van der Voort. And also with distinction, Rebecca Wynne Jones. Lauren Bailey, Courtney Faye Barnett, Brianna Josephine Boljevac, Anna Joy Casely, Olivia Caitlin Cochrane, Grace Fattore, Victoria Forward, Daniela Kate Franklin, Gabriella Marie Furdeck, Jordana Betty Grow, Jerome Luke Heron, Mi Lan Hoyne, Amanda Jenkins, Daniela Kaufman, Mariam Hondos, Casey D. Ladines Miranda, Katie MacDonald, Nardine Michael, Tristan Molina, Andrew Newen, Ariel Jesse Oxon, Tiana J. Parashko, Emily Jane Parkinson, Stephanie Perkins, Jordan Plowman, Priyango Shivona Ray, Dion Smith, Leonie Jasmine Smith, Lawrence Ta, Brendan Vincent Tran, Susan Guy Unicombe, Rong Wang, Grant Wilkins. Bachelor of Science, Zoology, Jamie Caldersmith, Stephanie Alice True, Holly Marie Evans, Danielle Patricia Gibson, Carly Glanville, Michelle Grace, Emma Mathers, Lachlan Mulhern, Victoria Nicole Smith, Kate Elizabeth Toggill, Emma May Webster. Bachelor of Science, Zoology, Bachelor of Natural Science, Animal Science, with distinction, Molly Kane. Catherine Bonfiglio, Jamie Louise Berner, Samuel Burns Dunn, Brooke Crismale, Natalie May Hoskins, Emma Johnson, Matthew James Peel, Mallory Ryan, Harry James Solomon, Stephanie Tolmie, Samantha Harriet Weller, Matthew Paul White, Serene Hazel White. Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Caitlin Mary Beryl. Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Business and Commerce, Human Resource Development and Organizational Development, Belinda Shu. Bachelor of Sustainable Agriculture and Food Security, with distinction, Erin Rebecca Ray. David Allen Crombie, Marley James Donaghy, Sarah Marie Lowe, Jackson Wentworth Marlowe Conway, Lee Kim Trang Nguyen, Danielle Elizabeth Packer, Pranav Rimal, Shanli Van Dorn. Chancellor, this now completes the presentation of graduates.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to address a few concluding words to our graduates. Graduation does mark a turning point. You have reached an important destination, but as you know, it is not the end of your journey. You are now a graduate of Western Sydney University. Take pride in that achievement. I hope that we have prepared you for more than just a career. As a graduate, you join your fellow alumni as part of a strong network of global citizens, thought leaders, change makers. I'm confident that you will go forth and make your mark, not just in Australia, but in the world. Make your mark both in the local community and perhaps on a global scale. I do say this to you, stay in touch with the university through our growing alumni network. You'll find that it will provide support and encouragement throughout your career. It'll keep you in touch with friends. It will ensure that I can keep you up to date on university developments. So please, from this day forth, think of yourselves as ambassadors for Western Sydney University. Tell others about the opportunities that the university has to offer. Now, in the next few months, some of you will be asked to complete the National Graduate Outcomes Survey. I do encourage you to complete that survey. Provide your feedback and your employer details. It's actually very important. Your feedback does help us to improve the experience of current and future students. And lastly, over the previous few years, your families, your friends have assisted you to complete your studies. They've given you tremendous encouragement, sometimes when you felt a bit down. And we want to give you the opportunity to show your appreciation to those who have contributed to your success. So if you do, as I hope, have your family with you or some friends with you, this is your chance to now turn to them and you give them a round of applause for the support that they've given you. And let me applaud you at far too great a distance for your achievement. Well done indeed. So let me conclude. This university is proud to showcase Western Sydney to the world. We are, as I've said, a young university, and yet, despite our youthful vitality, we, just like you, our graduates, have achieved a great deal already. And just like you, our graduates, we have big plans for the future and a strong commitment to turn our ideas into action. I really hope that all of you who are participating today, all of you who are now alumni or family or friends or hopefully future students, I hope all of you will be part of our university's journey. Until we again have the opportunity to shake hands and smile at each other face to face, I hope you'll let my virtual best wishes go with you. Stay safe, stay well, stay focused, stay Western Sydney University. Thank you.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, graduates, families, friends, colleagues and guests. The formal part of the graduation ceremony has now come to an end. I offer my sincerest congratulations to every graduate. Your experience at Western Sydney University has equipped you with the foundation you need to move forward in a diverse and very rapidly changing world. You leave Western with the knowledge and skills that make you ready to embark on this new journey. This is your time to look back on the last few years and all that you've accomplished. You have shown dedication and made sacrifices to be where you are today. In addition to your studies, many of you have also worked and looked after your families. You deserve the very best of what's to come. Keep learning, embrace new ideas, and seek new opportunities. I'd like to thank the academic and the professional staff who have guided you to where you are today. On behalf of the university community, we congratulate you on your success and are very proud of your achievements.